Billy Butcher, your journey has been one marked by pain, vengeance, and a relentless pursuit of justice. You've faced unimaginable losses and carried the weight of the world on your shoulders. Today, I want to offer you some advice to help you find light in the darkness that surrounds you. Through your struggles and your actions, there are lessons to be learned, paths to redemption, and ways to heal. Let's walk through this together, step by step. Billy, your anger has driven you to do things you never thought possible. Violence has become your language of choice, your response to the injustice you see around you. But Billy, violence begets more violence. It's a cycle that only leads to more pain and suffering. Compassion, on the other hand, has the power to break this cycle. Think of the moments when you showed a glimmer of care for your team, for those who are vulnerable. Those moments are your true strength. Allow compassion to guide your actions, not anger. Remember the time when you saved Huey from a dangerous situation? You didn't do it out of hatred, but out of a sense of protection. That's compassion, Billy. Hold on to that. Embracing vulnerability. Jesus. Billy, you've built walls around your heart, believing that showing weakness is a flaw. But vulnerability is not a weakness, it's a strength. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you open the door to genuine connections and healing. You've been through hell, and it's okay to admit that you're hurting. It's okay to let others in, to lean on them when you need support. Think about the time you opened up to Becca about your fears and regrets. That was a moment of true bravery. Embrace your vulnerability, Billy. It's the key to healing. Billy, your heart is heavy with grudges and a thirst for revenge. But holding on to anger only poisons your soul. Forgiveness is not about excusing the wrongs done to you. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of bitterness. Redemption is possible, but it starts with forgiveness. Forgive yourself for your past mistakes and forgive those who have wronged you. It's a difficult path, but it's the path to true freedom. Remember when you confronted your father and all the anger you held on to for so many years? Forgiveness could have lightened that burden. It's time to let go, Billy. It's time to heal. Billy, your life has been a whirlwind of chaos and conflict. But amidst the storm, there is a place of peace within you. Finding that peace requires letting go of the need to control everything and everyone around you. It's about finding stillness in the midst of turmoil. Practice mindfulness, take moments to breathe, and allow yourself to find serenity in the small, quiet moments of life. Think of the peaceful moments you had with Becca, away from all the madness. Those moments are your sanctuary. Seek out peace, Billy. It's within you. Billy, you've always believed that strength is about power and dominance. But true strength lies in resilience, in the ability to endure and rise above adversity. It's in the quiet courage to face your fears and the determination to keep going despite the odds. Your strength is not just in your fists, but in your heart and mind. Embrace that inner strength and you'll find that you are capable of much more than you ever imagined. Iconic scene reference. Remember when you stood up against Homelander despite knowing you were outmatched? That was true strength. It's your spirit, Billy. Nurture it. Billy, you've pushed people away, believing that isolation is safer. But humans are social beings, and meaningful relationships are essential for our well-being. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who challenge you to be better, and who support you unconditionally. Invest in these relationships, nurture them, and you'll find a source of strength and joy that you never thought possible. Think about your bond with your team, with Huey, MM, and Frenchie. These relationships have given you purpose and support. Cherish them, Billy. They are your family. Billy, your heart has been consumed by hatred for so long. Hatred is a corrosive force that eats away at your soul. To overcome it, you must confront it head on. Acknowledge the pain and suffering that fuel your hatred, and then choose to let it go. It's a difficult journey, but one that will lead you to a place of peace and understanding. Iconic scene reference. Consider your intense hatred for Homelander. It has driven you, but it has also blinded you. Overcoming this hatred will free you, Billy. It will allow you to see clearly and act justly. Billy, love is the most powerful force in the universe. It has the power to heal, to transform, and to uplift. Embrace love in all its forms. Love for your friends, love for yourself, and even love for your enemies. Love is not a sign of weakness, but of immense strength. It's what makes us human, what connects us to each other, and what gives our lives meaning. Think about the love you had for Becca. That love gave you hope and a reason to fight. Let that love guide you, Billy. It's your greatest strength. Billy, your journey has been one of pain and struggle, but it has also been one of resilience and strength. By embracing compassion, vulnerability, forgiveness, peace, true strength, meaningful relationships, and love, you can find light in the darkness. You have the power to transform your life and the lives of those around you. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. Seek out the light, and it will guide you to a place of peace and fulfillment. Billy, your anger has driven you to do things you never thought possible. Violence has become your language of choice, your response to the injustice you see around you. But Billy, violence begets more violence. It's a cycle that only leads to more pain and suffering. Compassion, on the other hand, has the power to break this cycle. Think of the moments when you showed a glimmer of care for your team, for those who are vulnerable. Those moments are your true strength. Allow compassion to guide your actions, not anger. Think about Huey. At first, you saw him as a naive boy, unfit for the battle you were waging. But over time, you saw his potential, his heart. You protected him, guided him. That's compassion, Billy. It's the ability to see beyond someone's exterior and recognize their worth. Imagine what could happen if you extended that same compassion to others, even your enemies. It doesn't mean excusing their actions, but understanding that they too are products of their experiences and pain. And let's not forget your relationship with your team. Frenchie, Kimiko. They are more than just soldiers in your war. They are people with their own stories, their own pain. By showing them compassion, you build a foundation of trust and loyalty that no amount of violence could ever achieve. You've seen how Frenchie cares for Kimiko, how holds on to his sense of justice. Nurture these relationships with compassion, and you'll find a strength far greater than any weapon. Billy, you've built walls around your heart, believing that showing weakness is a flaw. But vulnerability is not a weakness. It's a strength. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you open the door to genuine connections and healing. You've been through hell, and it's okay to admit that you're hurting. It's okay to let others in, to lean on them when you need support. Think about the time when you finally opened up to Huey about Becca. You let your guard down, even if just for a moment. That vulnerability forged a deeper bond between you two. It showed Huey that beneath your tough exterior, there is a man who feels, who loves, who mourns. By embracing vulnerability, you allow others to see the real you, and in turn, they offer their true selves. This mutual openness can lead to profound healing and understanding. And consider your own feelings of guilt and remorse. You've done things you regret, and you carry that burden alone. But you don't have to. Sharing your struggles with those you trust can lighten that load. Vulnerability is about being honest with yourself and others about your fears, your hopes, and your pain. It's through this honesty that you can begin to heal and grow. Remember, Billy, it takes a strong man to admit his vulnerabilities and seek help. Billy, your heart is heavy with grudges and a thirst for revenge, but holding on to anger only poisons your soul. Forgiveness is not about excusing the wrongs done to you. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of bitterness. Redemption is possible, but it starts with forgiveness. Forgive yourself for your past mistakes and forgive those who have wronged you. It's a difficult path, but it's the path to true freedom. Consider the weight you carry from your father's harshness, the betrayal you feel from those who should have protected you. These grudges are like anchors holding you back from moving forward. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to forget or condone their actions. It means you choose to release the hold they have on you. By forgiving, you reclaim your power and open the door to peace. And forgiveness extends to yourself, Billy. You've made choices that haunt you, actions you regret. But punishing yourself endlessly doesn't change the past. It only dims your future. Forgive yourself not because you're excusing your actions, but because you're acknowledging your humanity. Everyone makes mistakes. It's through forgiveness that you can begin to rebuild, to find redemption. It's a journey, Billy, but it's one worth taking.